Well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle of wine and an old dirt road. Are you ready to go? Hey, thanks everybody for joining us today. Live Music Nation podcast. I'm your host, Gill. Today we're with Geoff Steele, Gillioz Center for Arts and Entertainment. Geoff, thanks for joining us.
Hey, let me stop you long enough to say it's Gillioz.
Gillioz. All right.
Just Gillioz. No, it's not like it's spelled at all. It's Gillioz. Gillioz.
No second I in there. All right.
Yeah, Gillioz.
All right, very good. Geoff, give us a little background on you. Where'd you grow up, and tell us about your career transformation from then till now.
Sure. Well, I was born in St. Louis, but I consider Springfield, Missouri home. I'm a Glendale High School graduate, and I moved into the entertainment industry early on in the early 80s. So that tells you how ancient I am. So this is 42 years for me in the industry. Started out as a performer, wasn't good enough to make it. I consider myself about in the 63rd percentile, right?
Well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle of wine and an old dirt road. Are you ready to go?
And actually technician, moved to Nashville in the early 90s, had the privilege of touring a little bit with some Christian artists, Michael W. Smith, DC Talk, Newsboys, some of these guys, and then moved into marketing and promotion, went to a record company, picked up Gold Records, and moved back to Springfield in that capacity, actually as a regional marketing rep, married a local girl, and have been able to stay in the industry, and I'm thrilled. So I've been here at the Gillioz for 8 years this last month, 8 years that I've been at the theater.
Perfect. How important was your early connections? You mentioned that you were on tour with some Christian artists, and I'm sure you made a lot of connections. How important are those to you now?
They're great. You know, some of those guys I still have here, which is really fun. You know, guys that I was on the bus with are still out doing it, which is really interesting on one side. On the other side, it's great that we're still getting paid to be in the area that we love so much. But relationships are a lot of this, and so most of the people, frankly, my age have migrated, you know, into film and hierarchy and different things. They're certainly not remotely on the road anymore, but we still certainly, social media allows us to stay in touch. It's pretty great.
Sure. No, absolutely. Absolutely. I got to ask real quick, is that an MTV award behind you?
No, I wish it was. Isn't that hilarious? No, I'm just a SpaceX fan, and so I saw that, and my wife thought it was a great joke, and I do make jokes about it all the time. I wish it was an MTV award.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome. No one could tell. I mean, that's perfect. Tell us about the events that you have there at the Gillioz Center.
Well, the Gillioz is a 1,000-seat 1926 transition house. So we started out as silent films and vaudeville and transitioned to film. Actually, like a lot of historic theaters, closed for a period of time in the late 70s. We closed in 1980, reopened in 2006. We're actually closer to what we were in the beginning, which is that transition house. So we do primarily live entertainment, comedy, all kinds of demographic. We cross genres. Sure. So country does great for us. Vintage rock does great for us. Comedy does great for us. This new entity of YouTube Star is doing well for us. And then we do film. You know, COVID required us to actually immerse ourselves back into film a little bit more. So I did typically 5 to 7 titles a year. This year I'll do, 24.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. What do you enjoy the most about your position there?
Wow, what a great question. I think for me, it's the realization that this is about so much more than the show. The theater is actually, it's an economic incubator for a community. It provides enormous economic stimulus, not just for the theater itself, but for the businesses around it, hotels, motels, restaurants, retail, parking. Is significant, but it also is it's a social conscious. It's the ability to bring people together. It's neutral ground where people that have differing opinions. You may disagree with someone on social media in every other area, but you may sit next to them at a show. And I love that. And it's a beautiful thing. So I love, for me, the most gratifying thing is I get to make memories for people,
No, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Okay, some non-serious questions. You've seen a lot of artists. You've been to a lot of shows. Geoff, what is your favorite all-time show of your entire life that you've seen?
Oh my word. There's so many different ways to take that, man. I'll tell you, my favorite band after the thousands of shows that I've seen remains this relatively obscure group called the Lone Bellow, that are a trio, Americana trio. I started out of Brooklyn. Now they've relocated to Nashville. They just played the Ryman Friday night and dropped a new record called Love Songs for Losers. I love the Lone Bellow. I say they're not flawless, but they're fearless musicians and vocalists. So I'm really into that. And I just drove to see them. They're one of the few bands that I'll actually travel for at my age. But that's the third time I've actually driven several hours to watch somebody play. And so their live shows are great. But I love those guys. I love Brandy Carlisle. But there's a lot of great shows out there.
No, that's good. That's good. Okay, dead or alive, you could bring one act to your center. Who would you bring?
Man, these are crazy questions. Golly. Here's the caveat. This can change from day to day, right? My tastes can change because I'm all over the map. But right now, as crazy as it sounds, it probably is a tie between Sting.
Ooh.
I'd love to see Sting on my stage with 1,000 seats. I think he would probably rip my face off. And then honestly, Prince would be really interesting to bring back.
Yeah, no, that would be beautiful. Absolutely. Very cool. Live Music Nation with Geoff Steele. Geoff, thanks for joining us today. I appreciate you greatly.
I am delighted, and best wishes. Enjoy it.
Hey, thank you.
Well, baby, I'm